Hi guys, I'm Aaron Intende, and today I would like to give you a little bit of tips that is gonna help you pass your interview, especially development interview. Uh, so on the interview date, remember you have to come with your documents. So when you come with your documents, first of all, you will be told to go to a document counter. You present your documents, then after you'll pay for the visa fee, that is $330. After the interview, after paying the visa fee, you'll be called for the physical interview, that is with the consular at the American embassy. So when you go there, these are the kinds of questions you're gonna meet, and this is the kind of situation you're gonna be in. So for example, you have a family and you have a spouse. So even if you don't have, I'm gonna be answering most of the kind of questions you might be asked. Yeah. So at the consular's section, you're meeting the consular. You will find a white guy or a black American or black Kenyan. You never know. The American, but the Kenyan. You never know. So what you have to be expecting is, remember you filled in your DS-260, and there the consular is looking at your DS-260, and from your DS-260 he's gonna be asking questions like Aaron, and that's me. Aaron, how are you? So when you're answering to the consular, first of all, look right into his face, then listen carefully. If you don't listen carefully, you can say, sorry, I didn't get you. Or you can for example, you can try to ask him to phrase the question again. So hi, how are you? Tell me about yourself. I'm Aaron Intende and I'm from Uganda. So are you married? Yes, I'm married. Your date of birth? Then you mention your date of birth. So where do you live? I live in Uganda. I live in Entebbe. I live in Kampala. Where were you born? I was born from Jinja or Masaka. So Aaron, you say you're married. When did you meet your wife? I met my wife in 2020, 2019, 2018. Mention. I met my wife in 2018 at a bar. I was going to drink. I met her there. She was a bar attendant. I used to hang around there, so we started the relationship from there. So when did you move in together? After 2 years of dating, we moved in together, and that time she was pregnant. So I went to her parents' place and I was engaged. So Aaron, then you can go to my wife and ask a few questions. Hi, what do you do for a living? So my wife will start mentioning, what do you have to do for a living? Where were you born? So do you have any kid with Aaron? Yes. Does he have step kids? So they're trying to dig into my information. If I never mentioned about step kids, my wife might say maybe I have, which isn't right. So both of you should be on the right track, should be on the same page. If you didn't mention anything, never to be mentioned at the interview. Don't mention kids above 21 years of age. Mention the kids who are there on your forms. on the GS360. They might ask about your parents. When did you meet Aaron's parents? You might not say the right time, the exact time. You might say like after a while of dating, I went and met Aaron's parents. When was your introduction? You mentioned the dates. You have to keep some dates into your minds. Then after them, you will ask about your education level. Then after your education level, you will go on to where are you going to live in the USA, and where are you going to the USA. So you mention live, study, stay there, work, meet my parents there if you have your parents there. So after a while you will say which city, which area you're gonna be living. I'm gonna be living in Florida. Do you know about Florida? Yes, I know there is, for example, there's hurricane, but I'm gonna be in the part where it doesn't affect much. So you have to know about America. Sometimes it's good. Even if you don't know, don't worry. Then he will ask about your sponsor. How recent did you meet your sponsor? When recent did you meet your sponsor? How do you know what's your relationship with your sponsor? There you can answer a friend, family friend, a buddy, a boyfriend. You can keep answering questions, but make sure you're saying the right thing. Because if you say a brother, he will ask you, do you have photos with your brother? When did you last meet your brother? You see, is your brother remember a host or sponsors to be a citizen or a permanent resident or a legal resident or something close to a worker. Here, if he has a social security, if he's paying taxes, he can be a sponsor to you. So it has no problem. So he can further ask several questions, but at least today I've given you a few of the questions which you can expect, like how long have you been working, what do you do for a living, those kind of questions. When did you give birth to your child? Where did you meet? Where do you have a little bit of bills you paying together? Do you have an account together? You can explain more of that, trying to prove your relationship. If you're single, they might even ask you, have you ever traveled outside your country? Even the married ones, they will ask you that one. Have you ever traveled outside your country? So you have to be there to prove. If you mentioned it, say you have ever traveled, and you should have proof. And if it has been longer than 6 months out of your country, you have to have a police certificate. So he will welcome you to America. He will say you have been approved and have a nice trip to America. And lastly, sometimes they ask, when are you going to travel? Even before approving your visa, when are you going to travel? So you might say after a month, after arranging myself, after saying goodbye to my mother, after resigning from my work, after getting money for the air ticket, after like that. Give them something, give them vibe. So guys, hope I've answered most of your questions. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Bye bye.